Hello, welcome to my knife making video. Here I'm going to show you how I make a basic single bevel knife. I'll also show you how to harden and temper the blade too. We need to use a high carbon steel, and most people making their own knife would use 0.1 gram flat stock, which is ready for working. I'm going to use an old metalwork file, which will need softening first. Right, here we have our file. At the moment it's very hard and it needs softening. We need to anneal it. To do this we need to get it up to 800 degrees centigrade or red hot. So I've lit a fire, I've got a nice bed of embers down. We're going to put the file into the fire. We're going to stoke the fire back up again and get it roaring hot and keep it going for about half an hour. Then a very important thing to do is to allow it to cool down very slowly. This will allow all the carbide to turn back into carbon and then the fire will be workable. There, lovely. Soon that'll be red hot. We'll leave it for a while. Job done. File's in there, red hot. We'll leave it there for about half an hour. We'll keep the fire going as much as we can, but we've pretty much got all the fuel on it that we need. So now it's just a matter of waiting. And of course, the best thing to do while you're waiting is have a cup of tea. Lovely. The fire's cold now, so let's have a look. We've got some good charcoal here left from the fire, so I've got a biscuit tin I'm going to collect up as much as I can, and we can use that for the forge. It's a good idea to put it in a tin. It has gone out, but just in case there's the slightest ember there, we'll put it in the tin, put the lid on. Any remaining embers should go out. Lovely, we'll leave that outside and be ready for when we need it. Now we've got the file out of the fire, it should be nice and soft, but we can do a couple of things just to check that. So if we put it in the vise, we can try filing it for a start, because that's one process that we're going to have to do to it. We can try it along the whole length of one edge just to see if it's soft. Now you should be able to see there that I've made an impression, but I can also feel that the metal's soft as well, so that's all a good indication that we've managed to anneal it. So we'll just spin it over. We need to thoroughly check it, so we need to check both edges. Yes, that seems okay. You can get spots when you do this in such a primitive way, that are still a bit hard. And another little test that I'd like to do is just to try drilling it. I'm obviously not going to drill all the way through because I don't want holes all over it. I don't know whether you can see there, but there are iron filings coming off there, so we're managing to drill it. If that was hardened in its original state, it wouldn't have even made a mark on it. One last test, I'd just like to try hacksawing it. Yes, as you can see, the saw's gone in quite a way there, so I think we're going to be okay. Great. The next procedure is to clean up the file, to take all the teeth off and make it into what is basically ground flat stock. And from that point, obviously, the procedure is the same if you buy the ground flat stock or if you create your own out of an old file. The next step you can do with the file if you want to, but of course that's going to be a lot of hard work, so this little fella comes in. Now down here in the woods I don't have mains, so what I use is a 12 volt car battery, an inverter, and in my case, because my grinder is a 110 volt, I have to use a transformer. You may not have to use the transformer, which is the silver box on the right. That's the inverter. That turns 12 volt DC from the car battery into 240 volts AC. Right, here we go. There, we've got most of the teeth cleaned off. We've got a nice flat spine, so we can use that as the back of the blade and put the curve on there for the nose. There's still a few marks in there, you can still see the teeth, but I quite like that. I'm not too keen on a really polished surface, but if you wanted to get it smoother, then that's fine. And now's the time to get a bit more off, but later, when there's a little less surface area to clean, that will make it a bit easier. I'm going to use my old knife just to give me an idea of dimensions and to give me a rough shape. And then, as I'm grinding and filing the shape, I shall just sculpt it. Next we'll just cut off any excess.